Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mellow Monday. Oh man, I can mellow out all day in this. It's cool out and it's breezy, but it's wonderful. And that's why I just love sitting out here in the middle of all of our creatures that we have, because hey, it's creatures that our psalm talks about. The psalm that's assigned to this coming Sunday, Pentecost Sunday, Psalm 104. We are going to be looking especially at verses 24 right through to the end, okay? Except we lop off a part of verse 35. Yeah, it's one of those things where it doesn't quite fit in there. You wonder how it got in there, although it does have a place, and we'll just look at that briefly. But the psalm itself sings of God's creation. It's a very sing-song psalm, okay? Sing-song psalm, especially in the Hebrew. We don't grab that especially in our English translations, but it's a beautiful psalm. The Greek Orthodox Church recites this psalm every morning. Every morning. It's full of the wonder and the splendor of God's creation. Now, when we get to what we're going to be doing this Sunday, because it's such a long psalm, we start with verse 24. "O Lord, how manifold are your works! In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your creatures." And it talks about the sea, great and small, and all the things that are in there. But here's what's kind of cool. You get to verse 26, and it says, "There go the ships, and Leviathan." Leviathan? Yeah, that's that monster serpent that's often talked about in the Old Testament in a bad way, a destructive way, one that invokes fear in you. And yet here, what's it say? Leviathan that you formed to sport in it. In other words, it's a plaything for you. You take a great delight in just sitting around and playing with good old Leviathan. Isn't that cool? What was often thought of as, get out of its way. It's a plaything for God. It's wonderful. And it says that all of creation, all these things all look to you to give them their food in due season, meaning everything has been mentioned even before what our reading gets into today. So it's a beautiful, beautiful psalm. When you get down to verse 30, it says, "When you send forth your spirit, they are created, and you renew the face of the ground." And the word for spirit there is the same word for breath. It's your breath that gives us life. It's your breath that gives us life. Now, what's interesting is in a bunch of these verses, in the Hebrew, it's in the imperfect tense, the verbs, which means it's not finished. And it's talking again of God's creation. "These all look to you to give them their food in due season." When you give to them, you're not done. They gather it up. When you open your hand, you're still opening your hand. They're filled with good things. When you send forth your spirit, they are created. It's an ongoing process. And you know what? In all of this, in the entire psalm, human beings are a part of it. Not just all the fish and the animals and the plants and that. Human beings as well. But we are exactly that. Simply a part of it. We find our place in there. And there's no talk of taking dominion and ruling over. No, we have our specific place in here, as does everything else in creation. So keep that in mind as we talk about this. Talk about it in conjunction with Pentecost, God's Spirit leading us and guiding us and giving us breath and giving us what? The power to create right alongside of Him. Yeah. New creation all over it. It's constantly happening. God isn't finished with this earth. And He's not finished with you and me either. And I think if we keep that into perspective, especially with Pentecost Sunday and the Spirit filling us with His life and with His breath and with His power, you know what? I think we get a better idea of just how God still works in our lives today. Now, just a quick word about verse 35. The part that's going to be left out of our readings for this Sunday is, let sinners be consumed from the earth, and let the wicked be no more. And you wonder, how is that a part of all this? Well, think about it though. Back in the creation accounts, back in Genesis, order is made out of chaos, and the chaos is pushed aside, and the chaos is often obliterated. Yeah, it's just not there, or it's held deep in check. That's exactly what's going on here. In God's wonderful creation, He's not going to allow sin and destruction and disorder and chaos just to ruin His creation. No, the call of the psalmist is to God, take care of it. Take care of things, God. Let the wicked be no more. Push aside all wickedness, all evil. Let us live in your wonderful, abundant, beautiful creation. That's what it's all about, and that's where I'm at right now. And you can see the green leaves above, and the sky's kind of, it's got a milky look to it today, not the deep blue that we've had. And I'm not so sure that's not still part of the wildfires that are way back there in Alberta, and that smoky haze is still drifting down our way. But regardless, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Get out and enjoy. And maybe even get that lawn mowed. God's blessings be with you.